Hello everyone, welcome back to Forever United TV, your #1 channel for all the up-to-date news, keeping you in the know on everything going around Manchester United, particularly this transfer window. It's been a barnstormer, hasn't it? Today alone has been absolutely jam-packed. So for those of you tuning in, expecting a live show, this is my last day on location in Lanzarote. So right now, I'm probably at the airport, so difficult to get a live show done. So I've covered most of the stuff throughout the day. So what I'm going to do in this show, I'm going to premiere this so you guys can keep involved in that live chat and keep the community pumping out them conversations on Manchester United. I'm going to go through everything that's happened from midday forward to where we are right now. If there is anything significant, you know what I'll do. I'll be on my phone in the airport bringing you everything that has happened or just broken, but I'm going to give you everything now what has happened so far this afternoon. I've done my digging, I've done my reading, I've had some time, I've figured out a few little things as well on the way, so stay tuned for them. I'll fill you in on how Manchester United in particular are going to bring in, yes, that man from the video earlier on today, Viktor Gyökeres. It's hard to decide where to start with, actually, with all of the news that's going on, but Gyökeres is hot topic, so we'll get it with him. We'll concentrate on that one first of all, because it was what we were talking about at lunchtime. And I think everybody has been speaking with Ben Jacobs today. And if you didn't watch the video from midday, most of the immediate information on Viktor Gyökeres and his decision to wait for Manchester United is on that video. And Ben Jacobs quite adamant that Viktor Gyökeres wants Manchester United. He isn't going anywhere else right now. Honestly, staggered. When I was even talking about it, you could probably see the excitement on my face in them videos on talking about Viktor Gyökeres. It does really fill me with encouragement as to what Manchester United are plotting for the rest of this summer. It's absolutely awesome. Basically, it's Manchester United having the best forward line on the planet. Not quite, but in the Premier League, it's right up there anyway. So, get into what's happened. It is basically around Viktor Gyökeres and Ruben Amorim being in constant touch with him. That's the update on this afternoon. Even TalkSport are talking about it now. And Ruben Amorim, like we said before, the driving force behind any deal for Viktor Gyökeres, he is in touch with him constantly throughout and has been throughout since the window was opened. And since that interview that he had when we talked about it earlier on, when he said he's not going to bring any player that doesn't want Manchester United. Basically, if you're coming to United for Champions League football, you're not coming to United. But he did say that he'd not spoken to Viktor Gyökeres then. That was in season. So since the season has ended, with his obviously promise to Sporting not to touch or contact any players at Sporting after he left them mid-season for Manchester United. He's kept his word. Sporting's season is over and now it's opened up and Ruben has really got to work with Viktor Gyökeres. As soon as Liam Delap and the club's option for striker was turned down, it's gone into overdrive and Ruben has taken control of it. So that's what these meetings are all about. Manchester United meeting with Ruben Amorim, as in the board and directors, Berrada, Wilcox, Sir Jim Radcliffe. They had their target. It was Liam Delap. Everybody knew that, but he didn't come. So it looks like Ruben's got his say, and this could have worked out absolutely brilliantly for Manchester United. Imagine Chelsea getting Delap and Man United getting Gyökeres. That would be the best turnaround ever. Thank you for sending Jadon Sancho back. We'll get an extra 5 million off you for that. Hopefully that works out. We'll see, obviously. But I'm just having my own little swipe back at Chelsea and the fact that they get Delap and we could get Gyökeres. Look, I know it's not done yet. It's a mile off, and I'm just getting excited about it because I'm an incorrigible person. You know me. I wear my heart on my sleeve as a United fan, and when I'm talking about this news and I'm reading into the detail, you would know if I didn't feel like something was happening. I've been very, very honest with everything that's happened. Go back to when I said I don't think Gyökeres is coming until all of this development started after Delap decided to go to Chelsea. That, I think, is where I started to look into this a little bit more. And it is really interesting now. But how do, like Ben Jacobs says, Manchester United afford Viktor Gyökeres? Now, we know about Garnacho. We know about the other players that Manchester United are trying to move on. I'm expecting some form of news regarding Marcus Rashford now because Barcelona are not getting Luis Diaz as it stands. Their financial predicament is horrible for them. They are pushing the boundaries like we reported yesterday. Diaz now looks like he's either staying at Liverpool or going to the Saudi Pro League. Check that out. That's the news coming from that side. So Diaz not going to Barca means that their second option is now Marcus Rashford. and they feel they can get a cheap deal done for him now. So if they were going to spend money on Diaz, and now he isn't on the cards, maybe Manchester United could get that 35 million that they're looking for Marcus Rashford. Whether you think that's affordable or not, it doesn't really matter for Manchester United right now because of PSR. And when people say we still have to pay off the fees that these players are still owed, like say for instance Antony, Manchester United still owe 30 plus million for Antony. And people say, look, you still got to pay his wages off and you still got to pay the rest of his instalments off. And that leaves us with what? Nothing. No. You just replace Antony with another transfer, but on better terms. So you are getting rid of Antony and you're clearing the decks and you're replacing him with another player who is going to go into the financial system exactly the same way as Antony is. That's PSR. And Manchester United can afford to do that because of the revenues. So Rashford is a possibility that is going to generate the money for Manchester United to bring in Viktor Gyökeres now that Luis Diaz is fallen away. Barcelona, like we reported last night from Man United source on Twitter, saying that Barcelona have now contacted Manchester United. Maybe, and I'm guessing at this, that is because Luis Diaz has gone and he's not on the table anymore for Barca. Antony is the next one I want to talk about, and the important one I think in this, because I know, look at everything that's going on. I've got my phone here in terms of everything that I wrote down earlier on and what is actually happening, and an interesting one with Antony and the developments of him. So Real Betis have sent representatives out to speak to Manchester United about Antony. Likewise with United, they want to make a deal happen on a permanent basis now. Now, how the hell do Real Betis make this happen when they're potless, apparently, and couldn't afford him? Now, Atletico Madrid, according to Fabrizio Romano, have just purchased Johnny Cardoso, the holding midfielder from Real Betis, 30 million euros. You see where I'm going with this, don't you? How do Real Betis afford Antony? Well, when you've got money in the bank from a deal that you've just done with Atletico Madrid, maybe they feel they can start something off here instalment-wise for Antony, and that's then move forward in terms of a permanent deal for them. Now that's the Antony side of things. In terms of who wants Antony, this is the best bit, because we're now hearing that Bayern Munich may possibly be in for Antony. Who'd have thought? But when you've got the record that Antony's got in Spain and how he's turned his season around, anything is possible. But what about their rivals, their big rivals, Bayer Leverkusen? Erik ten Hag is now starting to knock on the door, and Erik is doing what Erik does best, in only buying players that he's worked with before. You've got a hatful there, Erik. Take the bleeding lot, please, and go and take them to Germany and work with them at Bayer Leverkusen. We don't care. Just come in and do what you've got to do, mates. Take your players, overpay for them players, do what you've got to do, and obviously we will reap the benefits of that. So that's what we're looking at in terms of Antony and what his appeal is to other clubs. When you look at Bayer Leverkusen, Bayern Munich, Juventus, Atletico Madrid, and obviously Real Betis, Villarreal are apparently interested in him as well. We've discussed that before on previous shows as well. There is a real chance that Antony is going to be the key to the Viktor Gyökeres situation. With developments and conversations going on right now with that, I feel like Antony is probably the closest to moving. We talked about Jadon Sancho before and the Aston Villa connection with him and how that could work for Villa and for Manchester United. I could see something going with that there, I really could. And obviously, Italian sides are also interested in Sancho, like we reported. So at the moment here, and what I'm doing is I'm trying to figure out in my head, going off all of the reports that are factual and out there right now, how Manchester United generate that money to bring in Viktor Gyökeres. But what you've got to remember in all of this is Manchester United, going off the reports today from the PSR table on what clubs can afford, can probably get Viktor Gyökeres now. We could probably afford him. Going off this report and how Manchester United have operated and what their losses are, the injection of cash from Sir Jim Ratcliffe and how that has helped Manchester United balance PSR books, what we're looking at here is the possibility that this could be sorted even with minimal sales. So, for instance, when you look at the connection with Alvaro Fernandez and Real Madrid now, and that being definite, confirmed by Fabrizio Romano today, he only wants Benfica. This now confirmed, obviously. It is looking like it could be. If it is 50 million, then Manchester United are looking like they're going to make approximately 8 to 10 million. I got my sums wrong earlier on. I thought it was 6 8 to 10 million for Alvaro Fernandez. That's pure profit as well, which goes a million miles with profit and sustainability. So that is where Manchester United are at with that one. Sancho's fee, obviously the tour, we talked about that money being generated, approximately 30 million without even selling a player yet that's in our current playing staff. So good business so far from Manchester United. In terms of everything put together and what Manchester United can do, there's no updates on Garnacho, but Viktor Gyökeres, and that story from earlier on is the big one. And just to round up that story, and make sure you keep getting your comments in the comment section as well, everybody. Talking in that live chat, please. This is a premiere, first premiere that we've done pretty much all summer. And so keep the conversations going. Let me know your thoughts in there. But obviously when the video does finish its live section, drop your comments in below as always so I can read them. I'll be mooching around the airport at this point, so I'll need something to get my teeth into and get your opinions across there because we've missed the live tonight. So yes, please do get in there with all of your thoughts. We've had so many messages and comments on everything that's happened so far today. It's been absolutely brilliant, and thank you again. Please do make sure you also keep hitting that subscribe button and like button as well. And on to the next bit of news, which is the Bryan Mbeumo one, the next big story. Well, it should be the big story because this deal looks like it's edging ever closer. So, Alcaraz, again, our journalist in the know on this deal, has come out this afternoon and said that Manchester United now, in fact, let me just bring this up now so we've got it and I can tell you exactly what was said. In it, he said, no, it wasn't Alcaraz, sorry, I do apologise. He was the one that broke the news earlier on about Gyokeres mix-up, sorry. But yes, this is another story that's come out, and it is Manchester United is actively preparing a second offer for Bryan Mbeumo despite the rejection of their initial package valued at 55 million. The club remains resolute in its pursuit of the player and are determined to secure the transfer agreement without further delay. Again, going down that speed, going down that being prompt with these deals, the message from Ruben Amorim, everything that Manchester United are going to do and get, conducted or sorted in this transfer window is going to be done very quickly and efficiently, it would seem. So, United in position now, like we said this morning already, and this was Alcaraz who said this, that Manchester United have actually already communicated with Brentford today, which is the 5th of June this morning, and are already in talks, fresh talks, preparing that second bid. And then another story has come out tonight on this as well, on Bryan Mbeumo. So there has been progress with Bryan Mbeumo today. So just so you don't get worried that this deal has been forgotten about with the whole excitement factor of Viktor Gyökeres and everything else, there is movement on Bryan Mbeumo still, and Manchester United are working overtime on this. The main significant parts in all of the news really today come from Manchester United's financial position and where we're actually at, and this is crucial because of what Sir Jim Ratcliffe did in the PSR that nobody's looked into. It is actually working out for the better of Manchester United. In fact, just let me go through the actual details of this now, so you've got them. And this is how the PSR situation reads out. So we've seen this before, and this is interesting. So this is from The Athletic. So Manchester United's PSR position calculated using the accounts of Red Football Limited, RFL, rather than Manchester United PLC. RFL is the subsidiary of the PLC entity. That's a pretty big factor. As in recent years, the pre-tax results of those companies has degraded. What's that? I can't even read that word there. It's a posh word that I cannot even figure out. Sorry about that. So it's different. It's divided differently, and is significantly different to what Manchester United PLC actually is. In 2023-24, Manchester United PLC lost 130.7 million before tax. For RFL, the deficit was just 36.2 million. Per UEFA's most recent European Club Finance and Investment Landscape report. Pre-tax figures for Manchester United were 22 million euros, 19 million at the exchange rates used in the reports in 2022-23, and 42 million, 36 million in pounds in 23-24. So that's your 3-year period for Manchester United. An exact mirror of the pre-tax results in RFL's accounts. To break it down, based on RFL's loss figures, it's a struggle to see how there were even any PSR worries at the club. Though that's only true once Jim Radcliffe's arrival has accompanied by the equity investment, which raised United's 3-year PSR loss limit from 15 million to 105 million. Still, could lose around 140. United could still lose around 141 million in 2024-25 and still comply with Premier League rules. In other words, they'll be fine this summer, however surprising that may seem. Word for word from The Athletic and their report on the PSR situation. Sorry about my reading out of that there. Hopefully that was broken down. So when we talk about Manchester United having 125 million to spend, it's 125 million within PSR rules. So basically, United can be overdrawn by 141 million this summer. That's not going to happen because we're obviously going to sell players. So what that's saying is, if they buy Mbeumo, if they buy Matheus Cunha, then that's going to be 120, what we're looking at there, 122 million for them too, going off the reports of what Mbeumo is going to be for United. And that then gives United, obviously, a little bit more left over to meet that 141 mark. It won't get to that because United will sell players. But if you add that money that we just said that United have already salvaged through Alvaro Fernandez, through the tour, through the penalty of Jadon Sancho, you can start to add up an amount which Ben Jacobs says is going to get Viktor Gyökeres over the line, which is approximately 60 million quid. United can do this. United have the money. It looks like Viktor Gyökeres has been convinced now, and Manchester United are moving fastly forward with this deal. I think as soon as Mbeumo gets done, I think we're just going to be moving right across to the Viktor Gyökeres situation, which is obviously where we want to be talking, because that is the biggest transfer of this summer. That number 9 is the one that we've all talked about. You can forget your Mbeumo and Cunha, no disrespect, obviously, because they're brilliant players and they are going to change the way that United play and bring us so much more. But having that quality number 9, that's where your big money's always spent into it. And that's what Manchester United have to get right. So, Manchester United in a great position with Mbeumo, and that's moving very, very quickly. It does look like we're in a very comfortable position with Gyokeres. It's down to Manchester United selling players. I've just mentioned Antony, that situation. We're expecting to hear something soon, probably from the Marcus Rashford situation also. Jadon Sancho obviously is attracting attention everywhere. Alejandro Garnacho has got suitors everywhere. There was a report earlier on from Ben Jacobs again saying that there should be a compromise met somewhere in the middle for Napoli. With the 40 million that they want to pay and the 60 million that Manchester United are asking. So if they do go in the middle, then Garnacho opens the floodgates and Manchester United just welcoming Viktor Gyökeres. That's pretty much what it seems like it's saying. United could push the boundaries now, but I think what it's looking like is they would like a secured sale in place first, just to back it up a little bit, I would say. I just feel a little bit more comfortable. But United can afford to spend money on another player now if they wanted to. I think it's just going to be a case of, like I just said, get a player in first and get some more money in off a sale just to make it look a little bit more comfortable. I said that twice then, didn't I? But yeah, you know what I mean anyway. On to the other forward situation, which is Rasmus Højlund. So the details of an Inter Milan bid, which have been floating around, have now come out. It is thought that they want a loan with option, which could turn into an obligation for 45 million euros for Rasmus Højlund. So what that means is they want to take him on loan, they will cover his wages, and if he plays or performs to a certain level, the option of that 45 million euros turns into an obligation. So pretty much, say for instance, Inter Milan get Champions League football. Rasmus Højlund scores 15 goals this season or plays a certain amount of minutes this season. If that is triggered and that stipulation is hit, then Inter Milan are contracted into pay Manchester United 45 million. There's no agreement on that and there's nothing set in stone. United haven't even agreed to that. They want a full sale this summer. That's where we're at. So it's going to have to significantly suit Manchester United if there is any loan offer on the table whatsoever for Rasmus Højlund, and that's pretty much the update on him and where we're at. Nothing overly significant. It seems like there are a few deals being worked on right now behind the scenes, and I wanted to just bring them into the video tonight simply because we do need to obviously make money for Viktor Gyökeres. That's the big story. Him and Mbeumo coming in would transform this football club in an instant, but we have to make some work, make some room and do some work elsewhere. And it does look like things are starting to move just slightly, but still significantly, I feel. And United have a lot of deals going on at the same time. So again, if anything does break while I'm at the airport, I'll jump on the phone, I'll get it up there, and I'll get you fully informed with all of the details as always. I'll keep an eye on everything from this point now going forward. But that's your update on everything else that's happened through today. Just a big one. Just wanted to say a massive thank you again to all of you for sticking through the location period, as in live on location here in Lanzarote, taking a bit of a break. It has been mad busy. I don't think I've ever done so much content in the space of a week. Well, you guys have loved it. Your participation in the shows, your comments, your likes, people who've subscribed. We are moving rapid style. So all I ask again of you is to please drop a like on the video, hit the subscribe button, get commenting. That's all that matters. It's all free. It all helps the channel. We grow fast and we get to where we belong, which is right up there with real, honest fan opinion, bringing you guys in on every single show as much as we possibly can. And that is everything for now, everyone. So if you are watching on the premiere, get your comments in, obviously, and then drop them in when the premiere is finished. Our first premiere of the summer, obviously. Sorry I cannot be live, just travel and everything and what's happening and getting back home. Next time I will see you live, we'll probably be back in the studio at 8 o'clock in the morning. I've got a feeling something's going to drop while I'm in the bleeding air. Something always does, doesn't it? Hey, look, it is what it is. We're in the air and I'll cover it when I get back anyway. But thank you, everyone. It's been an absolute pleasure doing all this content over this last week. And we'll carry it on first thing tomorrow again. I love it. Absolutely brilliant. Thank you again. Make sure you drop onto that QR code on the screen as well and get involved in the game tonight on Match Bingo with Spain and France, everyone, also. And obviously get your tickets on the link. Use my QR code on the screen or the link in the description to get registered with Match Bingo. Be 18 and plus and be a UK resident to participate. It's only £2 a card. If you deposit £5 now as a new member of Match Bingo, you will get that doubled into another £10 in your account, courtesy of Match Bingo for new customers. Get involved in that game tonight. It's just a case of crossing match events off your card as the game goes on. A throwing goes in a certain minute, that's off your card. It's all picked for you. It's dead easy, and you could be winning up to 350 quid just on this game tonight. Get involved. Everyone loves a bit of bingo, don't they? Anyway, that's your updates. Manchester United looking like they're going big guns and they're dropping bombs every day. I'll have you covered if anything drops. But for now, give the video a like, share the video, make sure you get your comments in and hit that subscribe button right now, everybody. Cheers for watching.